On the awakening journey, ascending in consciousness, going through the process of understanding more of the self and being able to navigate our reality experience, there are certain principles out there that we utilize for ourselves and share with others. The message for today is that the messaging that will be of assistance to others and to the self, more often than not, is very, very simple. That's why all the Ascended Masters' teachings from the past are in essence very simple. It is not complicated. Because finding alignment, acting as the true self, as the true essence, is simple in nature. And we overcomplicate it with the ego mind. The ego will overcomplicate things. This is also very important when listening to information that is out there. Very often I have seen, and I'm very aware of, that information being relayed to others leaves other individuals within the collective more confused after the teaching has been shared. When in essence, when listening to any individual that represents the light and is bringing through a frequency that is in with the foundation, the basis of integrity, the information will be received and the individuals will get it. And it will be simple. It will be obvious. Because we already, on a higher level, know everything. And we are here just to remember who we are. And the principles are very simple. What happens is that when the ego mind is involved, whether it be an individual expressing themselves or an individual listening to another, yes, there will be truth, but also the ego will get involved and there will be deception involved. So some of the information will be in resonance and some won't. And when an individual finds himself being confused by listening to another, and very often individuals will put other individuals on pedestals because they sound very clever. But in fact, a lot of what they're saying does not make any sense to another individual because there is a frequency that is out of alignment. And thus, it is missing the point. So, when listening to an individual, always, as we know, is to tune into the energy and feel into the information. Feel into the expression, whether it be on the world stage, happening in politics, everywhere in between, in every interaction. By feeling into it, we are able to tune in and take what resonates and discard the rest. Because more often than not, what we feel into, what doesn't feel right, isn't right. It might sound very clever and very complicated and very advanced, but very often it is not. It is a frequency flowing through an individual that is out of alignment. Thus, it completely misses you and individuals within the collective. It doesn't make sense because it is nonsensical. Very often, the principles on the awakening and ascension journey are very simple. Some of them, like we know, to love the self, to forgive the self, to act within integrity, meditation, connecting with nature, feeling it to release it. The principles are simple. Yes, there can be a new concept that may come in that you haven't heard before, or you don't remember that you already know. And at first, it may take some time for the information to settle in. That's when we are in allowance, to allow the information to flow in, and the individuals will get it if it's a new concept. But very often it is simple. If it is complicated, there is a frequency, more often than not, out of alignment. And the reason I'm sharing this message is because when focusing on something that, yes, we get some of it, but very often, if you think about it, if you're feeling more confused after the conversation topic, then there is a frequency out of alignment. And we, in essence, it's human nature, like to find someone, in essence, to worship, to put up on a pedestal. And then we ourselves are delaying our ascension in consciousness, our awakening journey, because we are allowing a frequency that is out of alignment flowing through another into our field, our energetic field, and our field of awareness and consciousness. And individuals will delay their process thinking that they will not move on and express themselves because they haven't got it yet. When in fact, very often, more often than not, they do have what they need. They just believe. So this is where the belief systems, the programming comes into it, the limitations we set on ourselves within our experience. They are ready to shift and express themselves. They just believe they are not, because they are under the false pretense that they are not yet fully advanced enough in order to share what they are known. So, we all have a unique perspective and something to share. Yes, a part of the awakening and ascension journey, I know for me, for over a year, I didn't say a word. I just kept quiet and I just absorbed all this information before I began expressing myself. So some people will prefer that. That's what I preferred. I didn't want to talk. I was just absorbing. I was remembering. So this is the process. Tune into the energy. If you are in a scenario feeling more confused when you know that you shouldn't be, then ask the question and the truth will flow through.